Hi, I'm Maggie Noe. Welcome back to episode 9 of the R.I.P. Reading is Phenomenal podcast. I'm your host, Maggie Noe, like I just said before. And today our sponsors are YouTube. Thank you, YouTube, for letting me upload my videos. Yeah, that's about it. I don't even get paid by YouTube. So we're just gonna get right back into it and continue on chapter 6. And Comey continues to talk about the Bush administration, and just the overall kind of corruptness that ensued when he dealt with them, especially after 9/11, when obviously the threat of terrorism was incredibly high. The country was super scared, and Bush was employing programs like the Stellar Wind program under the NSA. And you might be familiar with this. I don't know. It got out when it was 2001. I was just born. But basically, without warrants, it gathered information on American systems on American citizens. And this program had become one of the most necessary components of the Bush administration's fight on terrorism. And before it was actually legal due to a legal counsel from years and years ago, but under review, under Comey and the Department of Justice, they kind of said, this is actually not legal. And the Justice Department's Office of Legal Counsel, a group of gifted lawyers who discuss the most complex legal questions, said this program was completely unlawful. And in this fight, Comey just saw the darkest parts of the Bush administration. There was an incredible amount of pushback from the Bush's top aides. They defended themselves at every point with it, and a huge legal debacle, just arguing for the program, going through whatever means necessary to save the program, even blaming Comey for putting thousands of lives at stake by even discussing the legality of the program ensued. And no matter what, Comey just kind of hits on this topic again and again in the book. The Bush administration would not listen to Comey. They narrowed their view, just like Rudy Giuliani wouldn't listen to other people. The mafia leaders don't listen to other people. And now the Bush administration is just not listening to other people. And Comey is like, please, somebody listen. And it's just, this is what happens when people don't listen to other people's opinions or views. It just becomes a huge battle. And this is really what makes it explode, especially in the media, which is what the Bush administration was definitely trying to avoid here. They did not want the American public to know that they were spying on them. But by denying help from Comey or listening to legal advice, this had to become a problem. They made it a problem. And so, I was never a fan of G.W. Bush. And personally, this didn't even make me any more fond of him. And the darkest part of the story is especially when Attorney General John Ashcroft was literally dying in his hospital room, and the Bush administration just needed his approval of the program to continue on with it. And so it became a race between Comey and his lawyers, who he called upon at midnight to rush to the hospital, and the Bush top aides to get to the bedside of the AG. And when the Comey got there first, and he was just sitting by the bedside of the aide, and he just didn't want to be removed from the room, because when the Bush aides came, they were trying to shove the program down Ashcroft's throat, and he was literally dying. And they just tried to say that this program is necessary to fight terrorism, that it's impeding on people's rights, but it should be lawful because it's protecting the greater good, the entire country. And somehow John Ashcroft got out from the grave, and he just yelled at them. He was like, you guys didn't let me into the program. You didn't tell me anything about it, and now I know way more about it because we've been looking into it. And now that I'm seeing this, it is incredibly unlawful, and you should not be able to do this. But since I'm dying, James Comey is going to become the new Attorney General. And so then he laid back down. And I was also kind of I mean, Comey also did rush to his bedside, too. He also wanted to get his word with the AG. But I guess it was more mutual in that way because Comey had more of a friendship with John Ashcroft because he was also a U.S. attorney. And he was, and they had more of a friendship. And Comey had spoken to Ashcroft before he was dying about the program and actually shed light on all the things that Ashcroft didn't even know about. So it was more of a mutual, I guess, friendship between Ashcroft and Comey. And so just seeing that Bush sent his aides, or they went on their own terms, not exactly sure, but they went on their own terms to go to a dying man's bedside and try and make him make a decision when he's just loopy and out of it is just crazy. And it really did show some of the worst parts of the administration, and also just how looking at one side of a story and not anything else is awful. It just doesn't help you at all. Comey did look at both sides. He knew, he stood at ground zero. He saw the ruins. He stood on thousands of just lost innocent lives. And he knew that terrorism was obviously a threat to the country, but he also saw the rights of the American citizens and that there had to be a different way. And also, Comey just, quickly, also Comey emphasizes the help of, friends, because to note, Comey actually called on the lawyers that worked for him and said, rush to the hospital at, midnight. And they just blindly went to the hospital. They didn't even know what was going on. And to know that, he has that set of lawyers who were, at that point, really just his friend, because they didn't even need to know why they were there. It just kind of shows that he is a kind and thoughtful leader, and like his old grocery store manager, his employees and coworkers want to help him and not let him down. So that was just Chapter 6, Gathering Intelligence, and the Bush administration and Comey's fight with that. So yeah, thanks for listening. Great podcast, and see you later.